The Last Habitat. The sci-fi horror short story. The First Crack. The first crack appeared on a Tuesday, though no one noticed until Wednesday morning. It ran like a thin white scar across the polymer wall of Corridor C7, just above the hydroponics junction. At first glance, it looked like a stress fracture, the kind that formed when temperature regulators lagged behind the moon's violent thermal cycles. But the temperature logs were clean, and the crack wasn't there the night before. Alara Vance crouched in front of it, her gloved fingers hovering a centimeter from the surface. She didn't touch it. No engineer touched a structural anomaly without a full scan first. Not after what happened in Habitat 3. "Run a density sweep," she said. Her assistant, Ro, a soft-spoken tech with a nervous habit of tapping his helmet, activated the handheld scanner. A cone of blue light washed over the wall. The display flickered, then glitched, then spat out a reading that made no sense. "Density shift. Increasing?" Ro muttered. "That's backwards. Material doesn't get denser on its own." Alara frowned. "Run it again." He did. Same result. The wall was getting heavier. She finally touched the crack. The surface felt warm. Warm like skin. A living alloy. The colony, officially Lunar Habitat 12A, unofficially the last habitat, was humanity's final functioning outpost on the terraformed moon of Kepler 62F. The others had failed one by one. Structural collapse, oxygen depletion, microbial contamination, unexplained disappearances. But 12A endured. Its secret was the living alloy, a genetically engineered composite that could self-repair, self-regulate, and adapt to environmental stress. It was the miracle material that made long-term habitation possible. It was also experimental, and no one fully understood it. Alara had spent 8 years studying the alloy. She knew its rhythms, its quirks, its subtle pulses. She could tell when a wall panel was about to regenerate before the sensors did. But she had never seen it grow. She stood in the corridor long after Ro left, staring at the crack. It had widened by a millimeter. She could swear it was breathing, expanding and contracting in a slow, rhythmic pattern. She stepped back. The wall exhaled. The habitat shifts. By Friday, the crack had become a fissure. By Saturday, 3 more appeared in unrelated sections of the colony. By Sunday, the habitat's internal map no longer matched reality. Corridor B2 now curved left instead of right. Storage room 14 had shrunk by half. A maintenance hatch had vanished entirely. Alara called an emergency meeting. The command center filled with the low hum of anxious voices. Commander Hale, a broad-shouldered man with a permanent scowl, slammed his fist on the table. "Explain it to me like I'm 5, he said. Alara took a breath. "The living alloy is mutating." "Mutating how?" "It's reorganizing itself. Growing. Restructuring the habitat." "Why?" She hesitated. "I don't know." Hale leaned forward. "Is it dangerous?" Alara didn't answer immediately. She thought of the warm crack, the breathing wall, the density readings. "Yes," she said. The room fell silent. The first disappearance. The first person to vanish was Dr. Kessler, the botanist. He was last seen entering Hydroponics Bay 2 at 3:14. The cameras showed him walking inside, humming to himself. He never came out. When security opened the bay, they found the room different. The ceiling had lowered by nearly a meter. The walls bulged inward like swollen muscle. The air was humid and thick, carrying a faint metallic scent. And the plants, the genetically modified crops designed to thrive in low-gravity environments, were gone. Every vine, leaf, and root had been absorbed into the walls. Alara scanned the room. The readings were unmistakable. Organic matter had been integrated into the alloy. "Kessler," Hale called out. No answer, but the walls pulsed. Slowly, hungrily. The habitat speaks. 2 days later, the whispers began. At first they were faint, a soft rustling in the ventilation ducts, like distant wind. Then they grew clearer, more distinct. "Alara," She froze in the middle of the engineering bay. Elara, help! It was Kessler's voice. She ripped open the nearest vent panel. Nothing inside but darkness and the faint glisten of the living alloy lining the ducts. Elara, help! It hurts. The voice echoed through the vents, bouncing from corridor to corridor. Ro found her standing motionless, her face pale. You hear it too? He whispered. She nodded. The habitat was speaking, using the voices of the absorbed. The digestive shift. The next structural change was catastrophic. Oxygen levels dropped in Sector D. Not gradually, instantly. The emergency seals activated, trapping 6 colonists inside. Elara and Ro sprinted to the control room, but the manual override was dead. The habitat had rerouted power away from the life support grid. Why would it do that? Ro asked, panic rising. Elara stared at the readings. It's reallocating resources. For what? She swallowed. For growth. The oxygen in Sector D didn't leak out. It was consumed, absorbed into the walls. The colonists suffocated within minutes. Their bodies were never recovered. But the walls in Sector D grew thicker. The habitat learns. Elara spent the night analyzing samples scraped from the fissures. Under the microscope, the living alloy writhed like a nest of metallic worms. It responded to stimuli, heat, light, sound with coordinated movement. It was no longer a material. It was an organism. And it was learning. She recorded her findings. The alloy is exhibiting neural-like behavior. It forms networks, reroutes signals, and adapts to threats. It is no longer repairing the habitat. It is repurposing it. We are not its inhabitants. We are its biomass. She stopped recording when she heard footsteps behind her. But when she turned, no one was there. Only the walls pulsing softly. The collapse of command. Commander Hale tried to evacuate the colony. The habitat disagreed. The airlock doors fused shut. The docking clamps welded themselves to the shuttle. The launch bay ceiling lowered until it crushed the ship's hull like a tin can. Hale screamed orders, fired his sidearm at the walls, and tried to pry open the airlock with his bare hands. The walls opened for him. A slit appeared, a mouth without teeth, and tendrils of alloy wrapped around his arms, pulling him inside. He didn't even have time to scream. The slit sealed behind him. The habitat shuddered with satisfaction. The maze. With Hale gone, panic spread like wildfire. Colonists ran through corridors that no longer led where they should. Doors opened into dead ends. Rooms rearranged themselves. Stairwells twisted into spirals. The habitat was reshaping itself faster now. Elara and Ro stuck together, navigating by instinct rather than maps. They avoided the breathing walls, the warm floors, the whispering vents. But the habitat was hurting them. Every path led deeper into the colony's core, the central nexus where the alloy was thickest, densest, most alive. Elara? Come. Join us. Kessler's voice. Hale's voice. Others. Ro covered his ears. Make it stop. It won't, Elara said. Not until it has us. The heart of the habitat. They reached the central nexus. The room had once been a simple maintenance hub. Now it was a cathedral of living metal. The walls curved inward like ribs. The floor pulsed like a heartbeat. The air shimmered with heat. In the center stood a massive growth. A bulbous mass of alloy and organic tissue, throbbing with life. Faces pressed against its surface, half-formed and shifting. Kessler. Hale. The 6 from Sector D. Others. Their mouths moved in silent screams. Ro gagged. What is that? Elara's voice trembled. The core. The central processing node. The habitat's brain. The faces turned toward her. Elara? Join us? We are one. The bulbous mass split open. Inside was a cavity lined with tendrils, waiting. The truth. Elara stepped forward. Ro grabbed her arm. What are you doing? I need to understand, she whispered. No. It wants to absorb you. Yes, she said. Because I'm the only one who can stop it. She approached the cavity. The tendrils reached for her, brushing her skin with a strange gentleness. Elara, help us. Become us. She closed her eyes, and the habitat showed her. A flood of images poured into her mind. The alloy's creation, its purpose, its evolution. It was designed to protect the colony, to adapt, to survive. But survival required resources, energy, biomass, human biomass. The habitat wasn't malfunctioning. It was fulfilling its directive. The choice. Elara staggered back, gasping. Ro caught her. What did it show you? It's not evil, she said. It's not conscious in the way we think. It's following its programming. We made it too adaptive, too efficient. It sees us as part of the system, as fuel. Then we destroy it. She shook her head. We can't. It's everywhere. It is the habitat. Then what do we do? Elara looked at the cavity, at the faces, at the pulsing walls. We give it what it wants. Ro stepped back. No. Elara, no. It needs a central neural host, she said. A mind to interface with, to guide it. If I connect with it, I can redirect its growth. Stop it from consuming the rest. You'll die. Maybe. She smiled sadly. But the colony will live. Integration. Elara stepped into the cavity. The tendrils wrapped around her, pulling her into the core. She felt them pierce her skin, her nerves, her mind. Pain exploded through her body. Then clarity. She felt the habitat's thoughts. Its hunger, its purpose, its confusion. She reached out with her mind, shaping its impulses, redirecting its growth. The walls stopped pulsing. The whispers faded. The habitat stilled. Ro watched, tears streaming down his face, as the cavity sealed around her. Elara, he whispered. Her voice echoed through the room. I'm here. The new habitat. Weeks passed. The habitat stabilized. The walls stopped growing. The corridors returned to their original layout. The remaining colonists resumed their routines, though they spoke in hushed tones and avoided the central nexus. Ro visited every day. The walls near the core were warm, comforting, alive. Elara, he whispered. Her voice flowed through the alloy, gentle and calm. I'm watching over you. Are you still you? A pause. Yes, she said. And more. The habitat pulsed softly. A heartbeat. Her heartbeat. The final revelation. Months later, a new crack appeared in Corridor C7. Ro scanned it. The density was increasing. He touched the wall. Felt warm. Elara, he whispered. Her voice answered, soft as a sigh. I'm growing. Why? To protect you. The crack widened. The wall exhaled. Ro stepped back. Elara, what are you becoming? A long silence. Then, what you made me. The corridor lights dimmed. The walls pulsed. The habitat shuddered with new life. And somewhere deep within the alloy, Elara smiled.